Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com on this Monday, February, oh my gosh, February, May 13th, 2019, S&P 500 futures. Let me bring that up. We're down over 2%. NASDAQ, this is the QQQ. We're down near 180. S&P 500 futures, we're down almost 2%. Near the lows that we saw on Friday. See that wick there on Friday when we plumped to lows that we haven't seen since, oh my goodness, April 2019. And if you look here, we're plumbing near lows. We're just 3 points off those Friday lows. When we saw that suspect rally to the upside, a significant squeeze. Rope-a-dope is what I like to call it, as the market likes to do. But let me just bring this up real quick, because from a long-term perspective, anyone in this market, when you get when the S&P 500 futures are down 2% on one day, and the bears are out pounding their chests, calling for a 50% decline for the market. If you're invested with a long-term perspective for this market, a 50% decline is actually welcome. If you look from a long-term perspective, if you say you started investing in 2000, right? We got a 50% decline. Well, guess what? Not only were you buying these record highs, you were buying these lows that you're not going to see again in your lifetime. And if you do, you'll probably be worrying more about something else than how much money you have in your 401k account. I'll tell you that much. And if you look here, we hit record highs. Well, guess what? Everyone was making fun of you for buying the record highs here because you're investing in the market. Well, you were buying the lows here. When James Cramer was on, NBC, the Today Show, and saying, sell everything, hide it under a mattress. This is somebody who runs, a financial show telling people what to buy and sell. Told everyone to sell everything here at the lows in 2009. Scared you out of the market, said, hide under a mattress for 5 years. Well, what did the market do for the next 5 years? Rallied significantly. And even here in 2014, you have the same bears are out today telling you the market's going to fall 50%. Husband saying, oh, the market's going to fall 50%. Well, they were saying the market's going to fall 50% in 2014. Well, what did it do? It doubled. So those bears who were saying it's going to fall 50% now needs the market to fall 50% just to get back to where they were calling for a 50% decline. And they would have to fall another 50% from there to make them right about that initial call in 2014. And of course, they were bearish all the way throughout this rally here off the lows in 2009. So the bottom line is, in my perspective, unless the world is coming to an end, which money's not going to matter so much. I can tell you that much. If we get a hyperinflationary event, it's not going to matter if you have a giant 401k or a lot of money or a little money. It's going to be chaos. But if you believe the world's going to exist for the next couple centuries, being long this market means you're buying record highs and you're buying record lows. As the market grinds higher, you're going to be buying, some of the stocks at the cheapest levels that they're going to be in your lifetime, which is what they were in 2009 when the experts were telling you to sell. So if we pull back here 2%, 5%, 10%, guess what? It's going to be a great time to be buying stocks as the market falls, because ultimately, and I even think this year we're going to hit new all-time record highs again. SPY is going to be over 300. This market's going to continue to grind higher, but we're going to have pullbacks along the way, like the one we're seeing now. And I was talking about it 2 weeks ago when the Federal Reserve came out and kind of disappointed the market. Market was kind of expecting them to hype up the possible rate cut talks. Nope. Powell kind of wrote that off a little bit, and the market pushed out expectations for a rate cut. Market was a little disappointed. We got a nice sell momentum signal. And guess what? When we get that sell momentum signal, guess what's happening? The price is telling you we're going to roll over, and now we have all these negative headlines coming out with it. And all these negative headlines ultimately down the road will be just great buy the dip opportunities. If you look, every time we pull back here, we get into the negative territory here for momentum. We get this positive reversal here. We get that buy signal. Great time to be buying the market. So if you're short to medium term trader, just wait for the action to come down here. We get the turn, the reversal, sharp move to the upside. Going to be a great move to the upside. We get oversold. We get the overbought. We get that sell signal as we did just a couple weeks ago. It was a great time to trade for downside. I think this downside is going to possibly persist if we break the 280 level. We break Friday's lows. 280, we're going to get down to this 277.50 level. And that might be a good opportunity here to get long the market. Small caps certainly to watch. I talked about once we could not hold this 160 to watch for this 150.250 level. This goes all the way back to the election 2016, so that's a level to watch for. QQQ looks like it's going to break under 180 this morning. Look at that gap here. You can see this gap that had to get filled. Well, guess what? We're going to fill it just under the 180.50 level. We're going to fill that gap. Again, look at momentum starting to get into negative territory here. Once we start to turn around here, it's going to be a great buy signal for the market. I know a lot of fear here. You're going to hear a lot of crash calls, a lot of, oh my goodness, the trade war with China, it's going to be just disastrous for the world, the global economy. It's going to fall to pieces. But ultimately, long term, we've heard all of this stuff along the ways for the last 10 plus years for the market, how it's going to fall apart, how it was going to be Greece, where Ebola was going to kill us all. You go back, we had Cyprus, a little tiny country was going to destroy the whole global economic system as we knew it. Italy was going to blow up. The pigs, Greece, Portugal, Spain, unemployment rate, 20%, bonds through the roof. And guess what? Here we are, just percentage points away from all-time record highs. The market's pulling back. Everyone's getting scared again. Down the road, we're going to be at new all-time record highs. This will just be right in the rear of your mirror, another buy-the-dip opportunity for the market. And again, if you're invested from a long-term perspective, you'll just have an opportunity to buy stocks at cheaper prices for the ultimate move to another set and round of new all-time record highs. This time, small caps might actually lead the way. We'll see. But all right, UPB here. I just want to talk about the long-term perspective for the market. Some of the names are obviously overbought in the short to medium term. Shopify remains one of those names downgraded today. You could see a sell signal. And if you want to look for an area it might come back to, as crazy as it sounds, I know. I don't want to get crazy here. I'm not calling for a crash for the market, but if you look where Shop broke out from the 160 level, there's a chance we can reverse this parabolic move to the downside. I actually had Shop puts last week. Shop puts. I'm not a shop putter. That's a bad joke. All right, knee slapper. But if you look at Shopify, breaking down this morning, downgraded. We're at, 247. I had the 245 puts last week. Some other names to watch that have been breaking out. Chipotle Mexican Grill. This actually looks pretty bullish if we can hold over the 675 level for a nice flag, move to the upside. You have Ulta. Makeup's doing very well. This was kind of holding in there last week. Despite the move, I think that's coming at a 320 level. You can see Google could not break above 1,200, and you can see the action after that. If you actually come in a little closer, you can see the price action right at that 1,200 level. We actually were breaking out to new all-time record highs after its earnings report. Look at that. Back under 1,200, almost to perfection. Could not hold it. Possible move back to 1,050. Facebook ultimately is going to get over $200 again, but you can see it came up against a couple lines of resistance, could not break through it. So still some more room to the downside for a name like Facebook. Apple, a similar type of move. Held over 200 for how many sessions in a row was that? Maybe about 10 sessions in a row after it got over 200, reversing. It's going to start to get into that negative momentum area and possible support here to about a 182.50 level for Apple, which is, I think it's down to 193, so you're looking at another $10 potential downside for Apple. Twitter also breaking down. If you look at the chart from a long-term perspective, you can see this gap might get filled here, 34, and then the support would be 33. Let's see some other names to watch for. How about Tesla? Tesla long-term, it's really hanging around, but cannot break above this 245 level. That's been a launch point if you go back many years for Tesla. See the launch point back at the start of 2017, also at the start of 2018, and then in the middle of 2018 as well came down to this level. Well, here again, is it going to be a launch point or break down to 180? It's clearly something to watch. Obviously, a lot of bearish people out there on Tesla. Namely, I mean, if you just have to look at the option action. 9 out of 10 option positions are for significant downside, bets on significant downside for Tesla in the short, medium, and long term. But we've seen that in the January options for 2019. Those expired worthless. We saw it in April. April had a lot of bearish option bets go up in a puff of smoke. So the bearish bets, I guess maybe, you throw shit at a fan often enough. If you got shit to throw at a fan, if you've got a fan that's able to handle shit being thrown at it, eventually you're going to get it right, I guess. Maybe not get splattered in the face. I don't know what happens. Personally, don't like throwing shit. It's just a figure of speech. Anyone's curious. All right, that's enough. UPB here. It's about 10 minutes before the opening bell. By the time this gets uploaded, who knows? Could be the bell could be ringing. All right. Everyone have a great trading session, great week, and I'll see you in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. Goodbye.